Welcome to the ultimate Gusto payroll tutorial for small businesses, where you'll learn how to run payroll without the headaches. If you've been struggling with payroll management, are wanting to put yourself or your employees on payroll, are spending hours on calculations, or just feeling overwhelmed by tax compliance, then this video is for you. We'll walk through everything, starting with a quick introduction and overview of how Gusto works. Then I'll walk you through setting up your account from scratch. Next, we'll add your first employee, set your salary, connect your bank, and ultimately set up your first payroll. We'll also explore some of Gusto's features and customization options. We'll cover how to fix common issues and break down the real costs and return on investment for small business owners. From there, we'll share a few pro tips and best practices to help you save time. And finally wrap up with some next steps so that you can start using Gusto confidently right after this video. In short, you'll be able to run your first payroll on autopilot and never have to worry about adjusting your payroll again, unless you add another employee. Now, before we jump in, if you want to follow along with me while watching this tutorial, I've got a special link in the description that will reward you with a $100 gift card once you run your first payroll. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it really helps support me and the channel so that I can keep making tutorials just like this one. Chapter 1, Introduction and Overview. So what exactly is Gusto? Think of it as your all-in-one payroll and HR platform that's specifically designed for small and medium-sized businesses. Unlike those clunky enterprise-level systems that cost a fortune, Gusto makes payroll simple, affordable, and actually enjoyable to use. The platform handles everything from calculating wages and taxes to filling your quarterly reports automatically. But here's what makes it special for small businesses. It grows with you. So whether you're a solo entrepreneur paying yourself for the first time, or you're managing a team of 50 employees, Gusto scales perfectly. Chapter 2, Getting Started and Account Setup. Let's start from the very beginning. Head on over to gusto.com or use the link down below and you'll see this login page where you can either sign up with Google or fill out the form. Simply fill out the form to the best of your abilities. Afterwards, click on Create Account. Next up, you'll need to go back into your email and verify the message that was sent to you. After verifying, it'll redirect you to fill out your company profile with questions like, who is your company planning to pay with Gusto? How does your company currently run payroll? Is your company registered as an employer with the IRS? What's your business entity type? Do you have a company bank account? In which US states do you work? Do you have an accountant or bookkeeper helping your business? What industry are you in? Optionally, you can also enter your company's website here. It'll also ask whether you want a 401k retirement plan for yourself. You can simply select yes or no. Now on this page, it's going to ask for your desired first payday with Gusto. For my company, we pay ourselves on the 21st of every month. It's up to you when you want your payroll to occur, but I'm going to stick with the same payroll date. If you'd like, you can review the pricing plan options here, but we'll discuss pricing in more detail later. Next, Gusto is going to recommend a pricing plan for you based on the answers to your questions. Based on the information that I filled out, it's suggesting the solo plan, which makes sense because I'm only planning to run payroll for myself. As far as add-ons go, I don't really use Gusto support, so we can remove that. For benefits and insurance, we'll remove those as well since we're only focusing on running payroll for this tutorial. Finally, check the box and click Start with this package. One thing I love about Gusto's onboarding is that it explains step by step what you need to do to set up your payroll. Depending on how you filled out your form, for example, whether you're paying more than just one employee or which state you'll be operating in, your setup might look slightly different from mine. Chapter 3, Adding your pay details. Let's hop back onto our screen and then click on Pay on the left-hand side, and you should see a timeline that looks like this. For my example timeline, I'm going to calculate my mock salary. Simply fill out this form about your finances, like what's your total annual business revenue, what's your annual expenses, how much time do you spend on your business, and what is your zip code. On the next form, it's going to ask you what your primary role in your business is. For this example, we're just going to enter Marketing Manager, and you can adjust the level of expertise. Then click on Continue. Now, if there are any other additional roles or tasks, you can enter that here as well. And if you have multiple roles, you can adjust the time percentage spent on each role, and then click on Calculate Compensation. Now keep in mind that this is just a rough, reasonable salary estimate, and you can always enter your own salary estimate afterwards. Once you click on either button, it's going to redirect you to enter your pay details. Simply fill out this section to the best of your ability to include your work address, phone number, and first day of payroll. Then click on Continue. Now on this page, you're going to enter your salary amount, but you can always adjust this to be slightly higher or lower based off of your reasonable salary estimate. If you have a special tax exemption status, you can enter that here. Now for personal details, you can enter your social security number and birthday. On the federal tax withholdings for Form W-4, just try to fill this out to the best of your ability. A lot of this is optional, so I normally just leave it blank for now. Below might be a state-specific tax withholdings questions. Click on Continue. Now the last step is to fill out how you would like to receive your paycheck. You can either do direct deposit or check. I recommend doing direct deposit since it's easier to just filling out your routing number and account number and then clicking on Continue. Chapter 4. Choosing your payment schedule. Let's go back to the payroll setup timeline and get started by choosing a pay schedule. On this page, you'll set up your pay schedule. Like I mentioned earlier, my company pays our team on the 21st of every month. There's no right or wrong way to set this up, but if you want to edit your schedule, click on Edit Schedule. From there, you can adjust your pay frequency, for example, monthly or bi-weekly. You can adjust the start of your work week. You can also adjust the first pay period start date. You can also adjust the first payday for your employees, but for this example, we'll set the payday to the 21st. You might notice an error that says the first payday might not be before the end of the pay period. That's just Gusto letting you know to adjust your dates. Since our pay period starts on the 10th, we'll move the payday a little later, let's say the 24th. Gusto will also show you helpful notifications like make sure your pay deadline is after the pay period to avoid any errors or delays. So in our case, the payroll deadline is on the 20th, the pay period starts on the 10th, and the first payday is on the 24th. Once everything looks correct, click Save Changes. Then save and continue when you're happy with your schedule. Next, you'll be redirected to the next step in the timeline, which is sharing your company tax details. Click Continue since we've already filled out our mailing address and company phone number. For the federal tax info, this is where you'll enter your EIN or employer identification number. If you already have one, fill it in here along with your company's legal name, then click Continue. For the state tax info, this section will vary depending on your state. For example, if you're in Nevada, just answer the questions to the best of your ability, then click Save and Continue. Chapter 5, set up your company bank account, final payroll steps, and receive your referral bonus. Now let's hop back onto the payroll setup timeline page by clicking on the Pay button on the left-hand side. You'll see that we now have the option to add our company bank account. At this point, if you don't already have a company bank account, I highly recommend visiting a branch in person like Chase Bank or whichever bank that you prefer to open one. Once your business bank account is ready, click Continue. Gusto will then ask you to verify your bank account using a secure service called Plaid. Plaid is used by many financial institutions to safely connect your bank to softwares and services. I've personally used Plaid. It connects your bank in seconds and it keeps your information secure. Click Verify with Plaid, then either enter your phone number or continue as a guest. You'll see a list of supported banks, select Chase Bank or your bank of choice, and log in to your checking account to link it with Gusto. Once your bank account is connected, simply follow the on-screen prompts to complete the setup. After that, you'll need to sign the authorization documents, and Gusto will take about 2 business days to review your account. After your first payroll run, if you use my link down below in the description to sign up with Gusto, you'll receive your referral bonus automatically once your payroll is processed. And that's it. That completes the payroll setup timeline and shows you exactly how to run your first payroll on Gusto. Chapter 6, Dashboard Navigation. Now, aside from just running payroll, there are a lot of features inside Gusto that can be really useful for your business. Let's go ahead and explore the dashboard. When you click on Home, you'll see any upcoming tasks that Gusto notifies you about. On the right-hand side, you'll find any upcoming payment dates, payrolls in progress, or future payrolls that are scheduled to run. If you click on the left-hand side where it says People, this is where you can manage all of your employee information. You can add new team members, update addresses, handle onboarding or offboarding, and even use templates to add multiple employees at once. I like to think of this page as your company's employee profile center. It holds everything related to your team. Next, if we click on Pay, this is where we handle payroll. Just like in our earlier example, you'll see our monthly payroll here, which is set to autopilot. I've been using Gusto for about 5 years now, and I rarely need to adjust my payroll. But it's nice to know that you can skip a cycle, run payroll manually, or check your payroll calendar anytime. On the left-hand side, if you click Reports, you'll find all your W-2s, W-3s, and federal tax forms. If you pay contractors, you'll see their 1099 forms here as well. You can access pay stubs, customize reports, and browse the report library, which practically includes any document you might need for payroll or tax purposes. Next, we have taxes and compliance. This section is mostly automated, especially if you're a single employee business. Gusto handles tax withholdings automatically, but this tab lets you see exactly which taxes are being withheld for transparency. Then under time and attendance, you can manage hourly employees. This feature allows team members to clock in and out directly through Gusto. Since I'm the only employee in my company, I don't use this at all, but it's very handy if you have staff working hourly shifts. Next is the Benefits tab, and this is where you can manage your health insurance, 401k plans, and other employee benefits. Even if you're not offering anything yet, it's helpful to know where this is for future growth. After that, there's a Documents tab. It's kind of similar to Reports, but it's focused on document storage. You can access a variety of files Gusto generates for your business here. Finally, if we click on Money, this is one of Gusto's newer features. It brings together your financial data so that you can easily track what's going in, what's going out, and what's available. Personally, I don't use this section much since I rely on QuickBooks for financial tracking, but it's a nice built-in option if you prefer keeping everything in one place. Chapter 7, Common Issues. Let me share some common issues I see small business owners run into with payroll on Gusto and how to avoid or fix them. First, bank account issues. If your bank account information changes or if there's insufficient funds, Gusto will alert you immediately and give you options to resolve it before it affects your employees. Then there's employee setup errors, which usually happen when tax information doesn't match Social Security records. Gusto's verification system catches these early and guides you through the correction process. If you need to make corrections after payroll has run, Gusto makes it straightforward. You can process off-cycle payments, adjust previous paychecks, or handle retroactive changes without starting from scratch. When you do run into issues, Gusto support is excellent. You can chat with them directly in the app. You can schedule phone calls, or you can access their comprehensive help center. Always keep backup records of your payroll data. While Gusto is incredibly reliable, you should export your payroll reports regularly and store them securely. Chapter 8, which pricing plan is best for you? Now let's talk about investment. Gusto's pricing is transparent. There's a base monthly fee plus a per employee cost. For small businesses, this works out to significantly less than hiring a bookkeeper or using a traditional payroll service. But the real value isn't just the money, it's the time savings. Think about how many hours you currently spend on payroll each month. Calculating wages, figuring out taxes, cutting checks, filling forms, it quickly adds up. Then there's error reduction. Payroll mistakes can be expensive. Penalties, interest, unhappy employees. Gusto's automated calculations and compliance monitoring helps you avoid these costly errors. As your business grows, the value increases. Adding new employees, handling multiple pay rates, managing benefits, everything gets more complex as you scale is handled automatically with Gusto. For most small businesses, Gusto pays for itself and saves you just 2 to 3 hours per month. And honestly, it usually saves much more than that. And if you're thinking about changing your plan in Gusto, here's how to do it. Click on the left-hand side where your business name appears. Then select Plan and Billing. Next, click on Change Plan. This is where you can see all the available plans that Gusto offers. What I really like about this page is that it clearly explains what each plan is best for. For example, if you're a solo entrepreneur or a small business owner like me, I use the Simple plan, which includes single state payroll, basic support, and all the essential features needed to run payroll efficiently. If you have employees in multiple states, the Plus plan might be a better fit since it offers multi-state payroll while still including all the standard features Gusto provides. Finally, their premium plan also supports multi-state payroll, but adds a dedicated service advisor for more personalized support. Regardless of which plan you choose, Gusto's pricing structure is typically a base monthly rate plus a per person fee for each employee you run payroll for. So go ahead and choose the plan that works best for you. And if you're a solo entrepreneur like me, the simple plan is usually all you need. Chapter 9, Best Practices and Pro Tips. Before we wrap up, let me share some best practices I've learned from using Gusto for over 5 years. First, set up your payroll calendar early and stick to it. Consistency helps with cash flow planning and keeps employees happy. Gusto will remind you of any upcoming deadlines, but having your own payroll calendar also helps you stay organized and budget ahead. Second, communicate any changes clearly with your employees. When switching to Gusto, send them an email explaining the new system, what they need to do, and how it benefits them. The self-service features are great, but they only help if your team knows how to use them. Third, set up regular data exports. While Gusto is reliable, it's still good practice to maintain your own records. Export payroll reports monthly and store them somewhere safe. Fourth, establish a review process. Even though Gusto automates most calculations, always review your payroll before submitting. Double check for unusual hours, missing employees, or unexpected changes. Fifth, stay informed about labor law updates in your area. Gusto handles most compliance automatically, but understanding the basics helps you make better decisions as a business owner. And finally, keep things simple. Gusto has a lot of powerful features, but you don't need to use them all right away. It's great to know you have access to tools like time tracking and app integrations, but I recommend starting with the basics. Set up your payroll first. As your business grows and you get more comfortable with Gusto, you can slowly integrate to additional features later on. Chapter 10, Final Thoughts. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground today. We've walked through the complete Gusto setup process from creating your account to running your first payroll and understanding the dashboard. The key takeaway here is that payroll doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. With the right tools and processes, you can automate most of the work and focus on growing your business instead of getting bogged down with administrative tasks. If you're ready to get started with Gusto, use the link down below in the description. You'll get a $100 Visa gift card once you run your first payroll, and it helps support the channel greatly, so we can keep making tutorials just like this. Remember, start simple and add complexity as you need. Get your basic payroll running smoothly first, then explore the advanced features as your business grows.